Hey everyone, this is Meg with another video. It's going to be slightly different today. I wanted to talk a little bit about SH Downpour and the franchise. I just saw the new trailer and I don't know, it left me with a lot of thoughts that I wanted to share with you. Again, the floor is open to you guys. If you have anything to say, please leave a comment in the section below. If you agree or disagree with my thoughts, I'd love to hear them. So I'll start by showing you the SH Downpour trailer. Here it is.
Just where were you planning on going? This whole thing's turned into a friggin' mess.
First-time visitor, huh?
Which is something a lot less risky.
What I really loved about Silent Hill as a franchise was the fact that they gave us male protagonists to play. Survival horror is kind of notorious for using young female characters facing insurmountable odds, which works. But what Silent Hill did was they gave us this male protagonist while saying, don't get too excited, because people like James and Harry, they really were ordinary Joes. And I don't mean ordinary Joe by today's gaming standards. I mean ordinary Joe like, dude, you should stick to that drainpipe as your primary weapon because you can't use the gun for crap. They're also driven by love and family, which are themes usually reserved for female characters. So I was a little disappointed to hear that the protagonist in Downpour is an escaped convict. Having said that though, he may have heart, maybe something, I don't know, sentimental drives him, maybe he was wrongly accused, only time will tell. Now, they're boasting, I think, larger environments for Downpour, which sounds okay. I'll be interested to see how that adds to the gameplay. Because, I mean, if we look at the earlier titles, fog played a huge part in it. I guess compared to games nowadays, the town of Silent Hill in the earlier titles could be considered quite small, but because of the fog, it felt endless. You're constantly taking wrong turns or missing turns. Getting into confrontations completely throws you off because you don't know which direction you're facing. And sometimes the route that you're planning to take is just a no-go anyway. So having the fog made it seem bigger, even though it was quite small. So the choice, I guess, to make it more, I don't know, free roaming, bigger, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to add anything, but it'd be interesting to see. They did say though that water plays a huge part in this game, hence the Downpour title, and it's obviously taking place of the fog that haunted the previous games. I'm really interested to see what this water effect will have on the gameplay and the narrative. As we've seen before, Silent Hill is more than just a town. On occasion it reflects those who enter. I also want to note here that I haven't seen any of the monster designs from Downpour, but I really hope they don't go with ideas seen in Homecoming because I feel they lacked depth. I love the monsters from the earlier Silent Hill titles because they seemed like they could have been human at one point, but they were also sexualized to a degree, and they were so warped that any humanity that could have been in them was absent. Take Pyramid Head, for example. He embodied brutality. He would slice and dice, and occasionally you'd find him doing questionable things to slain monster bodies. But he moved like a wave, without motive, but powerful. And it was a wave you didn't want to get caught up in, because if you did, bad things were sure to happen to you. So I just hope that they stick to this kind of style and feel. I don't want to see monsters just for the sake of seeing monsters. I want to be disturbed and terrified. What bothered me a little bit though was towards the end of the trailer, it started to feel a little bit Dead Space. Boom! Something scary. Boom! Something scary again. Boom! Silent Hill. I watched the end and thought, no! Stop making it Hollywood scary. That's not what Silent Hill is about. Silent Hill scares you, but not outright. It crawls under your skin and stays there. It disturbs everything you think you know is real. It warps the realities of life and twists it into something that's unrecognizable. It's like it's dragging you into your worst nightmare. Silent Hill should be a mind trip, whereas from that little snippet of the trailer, Downpour looks like a ghost story set in a sister town with the same name. Take the Silent Hill 2 trailer as an example.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
See, this trailer sums up the game. It doesn't go, boom! Did we scare you yet?
Mary, could you really be in this town?
So those were just the points that I wanted to touch upon. I'm excited to see what Downpour has to offer. I'm all for reinventing a franchise. I mean, look at Resident Evil 4. But I think what is most important is that you stay true to the spirit of the material. As I said before, if you have anything you want to add, if you're excited about something else or think that my opinion is completely wrong, constructive criticism is always welcome. Please leave a comment below. Right now though, I'm just going to pick some of my favourite comments from my last video, top 7 video game cutscenes, and address some of them, answer some questions, or just talk about the ones I really liked. So yes, I hope you enjoy. Okay, the first comment I wanted to mention was from Thulsa, I think I'm spelling this right, Thulsa13. While cutscenes are great and add a ton to a game, I think developers at times forget that they're supposed to be making a great game with cutscenes instead of a subpar game with amazing cutscenes. I completely agree with you. Cutscenes should enhance what the game already has, which is why my choices, I think, go with really fantastic games too. So I completely agree with your comment there, and thank you. There were also a lot of people that after watching the video had been reminded about the Final Fantasy X introduction or the song Otherworld, and I'd like to say to those people, well, I'm glad I could remind you of such gaming greatness. Stuart.c had to stop watching at the Beyond Good and Evil spoiler part, and yes, I completely agree. Go out and play the game, because seriously, it's a really lovely experience and a really unappreciated game, and you want to play it before the second one comes out, which is definitely in production. So yes, play it. A lot of people mentioned the Metal Gear Solid series and their cutscenes, and I'm really ashamed to say I've played Metal Gear Solid 4 and it didn't make much sense to me, obviously, because I haven't played any of the other games, and it also seemed incredibly complicated. I want to get them, and I have for a very long time. Unfortunately though, I haven't had the chance, so if anyone wants to just send them out of the goodness of their heart, no, I'm kidding, but I really do want to play them, so no, I haven't, but thank you. Your input, everybody, of all of these scenes you keep naming from the Metal Gear series has really just made my interest in the franchise even more, so thank you for your input. And the last one I want to mention is 777 Stitches 777, I think I got that right, mentioned that Heavy Rain is the best cutscene ever. And you know, the reason I didn't pick it, even though Heavy Rain is one of my favourite games from the PlayStation 3, is because the entire game could be considered a cutscene, and I wanted to talk about the good old-fashioned kind of cutscene, whether it's in-game or cinematic. So for me, it was very hard to pick one cutscene out of a game that basically is a cutscene in its entirety. That's the reason it wasn't actually in my list, and I thought I'd better explain myself for that. So thank you everybody for your comments. I was overwhelmed with them. I do read them all. It's hard for me to answer all of them, so what I'll do is I'll pretty much leave a forum open in all of my videos, and then I'll read through them all and mention some like I did today in my next video, and answer them, talk about them, etc, etc. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you all soon, so goodbye.